As always, this episode begins with a recap of the previous episode and the Marvel intro. And as we know, this episode was the finale of WandaVision's first season. Mark my words, the first season's finale. So here, we got to see a lot of action. Right at the start of the episode, we see that the battle between Wanda and Agatha has begun, and here, Agatha is absorbing Wanda's powers, just as she had absorbed the powers of other witches in her past. Meanwhile, the White Vision also arrives there, and at first, he tries to kill Wanda, but then our Westview Vision arrives and saves Wanda. Along with Agatha and Wanda, a fight also starts between the two visions. And as I told you earlier, this episode had a lot of action music. Now, in the fight between Agatha and Wanda, Agatha tries to manipulate Wanda, showing her the pain of people and asking her to open the hex. Wanda does open her hex, which gives director Tyler Hayward the chance to enter Westview. This very thing makes it completely clear to us at this point that Wanda was always a hero at heart, who couldn't bear to see people in pain. During such a fight, Agatha also reveals a lot about that mysterious book, which we will discuss in detail in the next video. On the other hand, we also get to see the fight between the two visions, and here, both are very similar in terms of power. But when Wanda opens the hex, the Westview Vision and both of Wanda's children, whom she had asked to stay home, start to disintegrate. So, Wanda has to close the hex again, but by then, many SWORD soldiers have already entered Westview. Additionally, we are also shown that Evan Peters' Pietro, about whom Mephisto, Nightmare, Multiverse, and God knows what else was said, well, I said it too, is actually Agatha's so-called husband. Although, which wife would use a crystalline possession on her husband? Because the husband has to listen anyway. Jokes apart, this Pietro story doesn't seem that simple to me because getting super speed due to a potion doesn't make much sense. We will discuss this topic in more depth in the next video because right now, we are only discussing the story. After this, we see that Monica has also freed that fake Pietro from the possession and joined Wanda and her family. Now here, our Vision explains to the White Vision that what he is doing is not right, and he makes him remember all his memories by using his powers. He convinces him that he is the Vision who died in Avengers: Infinity War. Meanwhile, parallelly, Billy and Tommy are seen fighting the SWORD army, where Tyler Hayward also tries to kill them. But then, we get to see a small sample of Photon and Wiccan's powers. However, after this, when Tyler Hayward tries to run them over with his car, our Darcy takes down director Tyler Hayward. Bro, I'm saying this with understanding. It hurts, bro, you guys know it too. And then, in the final fight, we see that Wanda lures Agatha into her runes by tempting her with her powers. These are the runes which only the witch who cast them can use magic within that area. Because of this, Agatha became completely powerless in this place. And Wanda also explores the full potential of her powers. Finally, we see that Wanda sentences Agatha to live forever in the consciousness of a normal person, i.e., as the nosy neighbor Agnes, whose role she had chosen to enter Wanda's hex. The conversation between Wanda and Agatha at this place also has many interesting details, which I will explain in detail later. Now, the story ends with Wanda sacrificing Vision and both her twins for the freedom of the other people. And bro, this entire sequence was really very emotional. Here, after sacrificing her twins and Vision, and after a conversation with Monica, Wanda leaves Westview. But the story isn't that simple. Here, we were shown two post-credit scenes, one based on Wanda and one on Monica, and these have a lot of details, on which I am making a separate video, which will be released soon on my channel again. And yes, after this, we didn't see any mention of White Vision and Pietro, so maybe we will get a second season of this series, or perhaps their story will continue in some movie. Were you satisfied with this season's ending or not? And overall, how many points out of 10 would you give this show? Be sure to mention it in the comments below. I will see you in the next video. Until then, bye.